Well, I had a good long soak in the tub at the hotel and I needed it. It was the first time I've had a tub since I got to Scotland. And also, I was able to wash all my socks and underwear and get them dry last night, so that's really good because I'm set for the next 5 days at least. Um, Today the weather's pretty good. It's rained a little bit, but not much. But it looks like it's going to start to get really wet the next few days. So spend a lot of time on the internet kind of thinking, what am I going to do? There aren't really any campgrounds, so I'm going to try to wild camp, but we'll see how wet I get. It's also hard to find places to wild camp. There are places, but finding dry ground that isn't on top of a farmer's field, it's tough. But then I was also trying to figure out what I'm going to do after this. And the thing is, when I got to Scotland and I did the West Highland Way and the Great Glen Way, logistically those were really easy because there's lots of campgrounds that are, to 12, 15 pounds a night. It gets you a shower, water, electricity, flat ground that's dry, drying rooms, logistically, it was very easy. Then the Isle of Skye was difficult, not that many campgrounds, very expensive hotels, not that many buses, just hard to find a place to wild camp. The wind was insane in places. And now I'm here and I'm also running into a problem because there are some campgrounds, they are full. And even if they weren't full, I think they're really expensive, like 30 pounds for a night for a tent. That's a lot. And wild camping, I don't know, I'm trying, but like I said, it's tough to find flat, dry ground. That's been leaving me with trying to find the cheapest hotels I can get, which they're really expensive. And I don't even really like staying in hotels, so it's not fun to spend the money, if you know what I mean. So yeah, Scotland's getting expensive, and I'd love to stay. It's beautiful, and I've really enjoyed it. It's been challenging, of course, the midges, the wind, the rain, but it's the money. It comes down to the money. I have to go. I can't stay. So this morning, I kind of spontaneously booked a flight to Vienna. Not because I'm going to Vienna, but because it gets me close to Slovakia and I want to go there. I know I can do some trekking there, wild camping. But that aside, hotels in Slovakia are a fraction of the cost of what they are here. So it's just going to be cheaper to travel. So I'm leaving on Monday. Which means I'm going to try to make the most of the Cateran Trail. And yeah, maybe I'll get wet. Maybe it'll be a bit miserable, but I want to see the rest of it as much as I can and try to enjoy the last of Scotland. So I've been walking through the Blackcraig Forest. The flies are really annoying again. I don't know, there's just a lot of them. Flies aside, it's been a really nice walk through here. It's these stupid flies. These stupid flies are everywhere. And I'm afraid to look behind me because I know there's a whole swarm following me. Ugh. Well, I'm kind of glad that the gate is open. Good news, the forecast has changed a bit tonight. Tomorrow doesn't look like it's going to rain after all. So I'm going to stop in Kirkmichael in a little bit, have a nice big lunch, and then keep going and look for a place to camp. Try to get a little bit more distance today because it's not raining. I don't know what to do. I have a sheep problem. I think Mom is supposed to be inside this gate. don't know how she got out. If I get any closer, she's gonna run off. I could probably open the gate and let her in, but she's not gonna like that. I don't want the baby to get out. I can't really go around. Oh, well, at least they're together now. I can't really go around. This is like barbed wire all the way back to who knows where. I guess they're together now, and we'll just hope for the best. So I ducked into this driveway, and I want them to go back the way they came from. Go back! Go back! Go on! Go on! Go on! Get! There you go! Go home! I was worried I was going to have to chase them all the way into town, and that didn't sound like a good idea. Well, I made it to Kirkmichael, and the restaurant should be just across the bridge. Looks like this church has seen better days. It's a really nice town. Well, the restaurant's not open for another 2.5 hours. So I'm gonna try to shop. I don't want to walk anymore tonight. I think I'm done. Did almost 12 miles today. I just came out of Kirkmichael like 45 minutes ago. I spent half an hour walking through this woodpile field here. Dry wood, full of spiders. There are so many spiders in there, and they're fast and they jump. And, well, they're not that big, but they're ugly, and I don't like spiders. There weren't really any flat spots, but even if there were, I'd have to clear wood and deal with spiders. But I just got to this gate, and this field behind me has some lovely flat spots in the clover, and it's dry. So I think I'm going to stop here. Besides, if I keep going, there's just down this hill, there's a bunch of cottages and like a little village, and I have to cross the highway, and it's going to be hard to find a place to camp for 2 or 3 miles. So this sounds good to me. I don't have any water, but I don't need any because I just filled up in town. And I can hear farm equipment down here, but it's not that loud. Whatever. It's not the end of the world. They won't go that late. So time to put up my tent. Well, the tent is up, and it is a remarkably flat, soft, dry patch of clover. I think it's probably the best bit of ground I've pitched my tent on so far, better than any of the campgrounds I paid for. I even got all of the tent pegs in without hitting any rocks. That's amazing. I can still hear that farm equipment, and every now and then I think, oh, it's coming right for me. It just makes me nervous when I'm wild camping, because I always worry like I'm in a place I shouldn't be or something like that, but I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. I've got my boots off, which feels good, but my feet stink. And I also have a beer that I picked up in town back there, and it's remarkably cold still, so I'm enjoying it. I've really liked the Cateran Trail so far. It's really nice, but it's different. You know, it's not the cliffs and the mountains and the locks. It's gentle rolling hills and farmland, little pastures, villages, cottages. It's beautiful in its own way. It's different, and the people are super friendly. A lot of people have sort of stopped to say hi, how are you doing? One guy was like, oh, you have to do the whole thing, definitely, it's beautiful. And so yeah, I'm really enjoying it. The flies were bad today, but they don't bite or anything, they're just a nuisance. And other than that, it's been great. I'm hoping the weather holds, but even if it doesn't, I think because I'm leaving on Monday, it kind of takes the pressure off a little bit. And even if I get really wet and miserable in the meantime, I want to enjoy this last little bit of Scotland as much as possible. So yeah, it's been great. And the view from the tent was pretty nice.